Good morning, everybody. What we're going to do today is show all you folks a couple things on this Temsa bus, on this TS-35, that can cause you issues out on the road or when you come in the morning and your bus won't start. So these are things that you do in order to get your bus hopefully to start. So come on in. First off, anything newer than 2014 on these Temsas are what are known as a keyless start. No ignition key is needed to start this bus. But there are some other things that need to be done in order to get your vehicle to start. First off, you got to ensure that your parking brake is set. Okay? If your parking brake is not in the up pulled position, that will not allow your vehicle to start. Number two, you've got to turn your power on. This red top switch up here is your power switch. So what you need to do is activate this switch by pushing it all the way down. Then watch your dash. You're going to notice that there's different icons that pop up here. And I'm not sure if the phone picked this up, but there's a couple of clicks that occur that allow you to know that now your dash has awoke and now you'll be able to continue with the starting process. But again, with a keyless start, now you need to, before you push the start red button, which is below the power button, you need to turn the aisle light on. Okay? You got to push this aisle light on right here. Then you can push your start switch. Now, since we went through the fact that our parking brake was on, we made sure that our aisle light was on, we turned our top power button on, and then remember, you got to let the dash wake up. Do not just turn on your red power switch at the top and then go and hit start. Always wait for the icons to clear before you attempt to start. Now, what happens if we've done this, we've put the aisle light on, we've put the parking brake on, we put the power on, but we still get a no start scenario? Well, in that case, we actually need to exit the bus. So follow me. Now, if this door is open at any time during the starting process, your bus will not start. What you have to make sure of, this kill switch, which is located right here, it's a safety mechanism that prevents the bus from starting in case a mechanic or a driver is back here with this compartment open. You never want to start the bus when somebody's back there working. So you always have to make sure that this is in the down position. And that's done by closing this hood. Here's another note. Sometimes this screw right here comes loose. And when that comes loose, it causes this to go forward to where it won't make contact anymore. So what you have to do is you got to grab this, pull it forward, then take a dime and tighten this little screw here so that when you shut the door, it actually allows the bus to start. Did I see that? Now, one other thing. On these buses, you have a rear start, which is used by the mechanics. You know, the mechanics don't want to have to keep going up in front to start a bus. So they have switches back here. This first switch is for your light. On, off. Which you can't see very well because it's light out right now. Then you're going to see an emergency stop switch. Don't mess with that. Then you're going to see here another switch here, which is marked ignition switch. You'll see that it's on, toggle up. If I want to start it from the back, I take this toggle, I put it down. Then what I do is I take my finger, I hold this switch over here down, and I push this button and it'll rear start this bus. So remember, to rear start, you have to have this switch in the off position, hold down the kill switch, and then push the start button to start the bus from the back. Always make sure once it starts, you put that switch back in on, or you won't be able to start it from the front. Now, last but not least, if for some reason somebody hit this emergency stop switch, okay, you're not going to be able to just pull it straight out. What you have to do is look at the arrows. See these arrows that are going to the right? You've got to twist this at the same time pulling it out. And that will allow your bus to start again. Typically, you don't have to ever mess with that. That's for like an emergency. If a mechanic is working here and all of a sudden you notice the belt breaking or smoke or something, you can just bang, hit that, and it'll shut the engine off completely. So, that's pretty much for the starting process so far. We've got one more area to check that could prevent you from starting. But just as a quick note, if you're ever jumping Temsas, you need to hook up your battery cables. Here's your positive, here's your negative. So positive, negative. Now, let's go to the last place you would mess with if your bus wouldn't start. All right, this is our battery compartment here. You got two sets of batteries, which makes for a 24-volt system. This unit right here is called a vanner. This actually takes and converts both of these batteries to 24 volt. Again, it's called a vanner. You've got a kill switch here. So if for some reason I were to turn this off and take this key out, you would not be able to start your bus. So you always got to make sure that this switch is in and turned into the on position, which is horizontal, just like this, straight across. Now, one other thing. Sometimes if you have problems with ignition, air conditioning, doors, and such, all these breakers that are located here can actually release. They can trip. So, if you have a problem inside and you can't figure out why your AC is not working maybe, or your lights or bus won't start or so, come back here and take a look. These little buttons that are located here will actually pop out when they're tripped. It's really neat. All you got to do is push them back in. Of course, whenever you're messing with this, always make sure you turn this battery switch off first. Always turn the battery switch off anytime you're working with electrical, unless you're jumping your batteries or something, then you got to have your switch on. Okay, this door does open. So in other words, there's a latch here and there's a latch up here. You can actually access the back of this panel by undoing both these latches here. Why would you want to do that? Sometimes these relays, these fuses, get loose. And just by opening this door, you can get to the back where all the wiring is. And sometimes just by pushing the fuse or the relay back in, they do come loose. Heck, your power or whatever, or the item that's not working, just might come on. So remember, this is where all your very important electrical items are located, especially your start. If that's off, your bus is not going to start no matter what you do. So remember that.